Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about this infinity swing that's going to help, especially you slicers out there, from reducing some of that over-the-top sensation. We're going to create a little bit of a different pattern, a different loop today. So Milo, what I've set up here is sort of a little station. Now we use alignment sticks all the time, and you'll have people kind of swing up and over things.
Yeah.
Create a different loop, right?
For sure.
So what I've done is I've put an alignment stick on the back end and the front end, a little bit inside the ball line. Now we're going to talk through a little bit how to set this up because we don't want people to hurt themselves. These alignment sticks can go flying and things can happen. We don't want that.
I've heard stories.
I've set it up so it's a little safer. But what we're going to do is create this little infinity swing. Okay. Now for many of you, you tend to get a little in, a little flat, and then up and over. So your loop is more this pattern.
Yeah, their pattern is under to over, and this is going to create kind of the opposite sensation, right? So that's what we're after.
Okay, so what I've done is, again, put these alignment sticks here. We're going to create more of a up to under, right? And we're going to do that with a little bit different pattern than maybe some people think we're going to do it. But this infinity swing, for anybody that does get over the top, this is going to be a dramatic difference. We're going to be starting to get that club coming from the inside and actually hitting some draws, maybe even some hooks, which would be probably a nice little change for a little bit.
For many people, that'd be welcome.
Yeah. So when you have somebody that comes to your range for a lesson with you and is struggling with that slice, or maybe they're hitting really big pulls, what kind of station do you set up? Is it something like this, would you say?
Oftentimes I just break out and I use other tools like a big long pipe or a hockey stick, and I put people through some patterns where they're basically making infinity type patterns with a different implement so that they can start to feel, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
And then I put the golf club back in hand and start applying the same sensations to golf.
Yeah. Well, I know, having watched you coach plenty of lessons, I see you liking to see sort of a little loop in pretty much any practice drill I see for 90% of the students, because 90% go the other way.
Yeah.
Right? So creating a loop where they stand it up and then shallow it out so it comes from the inside, that would be a totally different pattern.
Yeah, for most people that's the opposite of what they do.
Exactly.
So, show us how to do it.
Yeah. So I've, again, set up two sticks. One's kind of pointing back at you guys at the camera, and one is sort of pointing towards the target. So they're actually angled away. We'll do a face on in a little bit.
It's kind of like you're sitting in a half pipe.
Sitting in a half pipe, yes. So it's kind of matching the arc of the swing more or less. So it's about, I don't know, 2 club heads inside of that ball line. We didn't get too exacting here, but it kind of gives us a good reference, and you'll see it on the camera, I think, this sort of loop we're trying to create. So what I do, I'm just going to hover one. I'm not going to hit one quite yet, but I want to show the loop. So I'm going to set up pre-neutral. I got a couple alignment sticks as reference, and then I'm going to turn to the left, so that'll bring the club actually inside this little yellow alignment stick. So I'm kind of like getting into impact and then just pass. So exit, we'll call it. And it's actually a little more left than it will be in the full swing. I don't want to get too going left, but this is going to help me catapult this club up and over this back stick.
Okay, so it's going to
standing up.
It's going to help you load the club a little more out than you normally would.
Versus so many of you are more inside, flat. You get your shoulders like this, right? We don't want that. So it's going to be a little in and then up. Now, the key thing here too is this loop we're about to create. There's a few ways you can do it. You can do it with your arms.
Okay, there might be a little of that in there, but not drastic.
We don't want a ton of that. We want it to more or less happen with our wrists and our bends.
Yes.
Okay, so the combination of those two, that's going to help keep the face a little more square to closed. Again, a big difference for most people. They get it too open coming down.
For sure.
Okay, so a little more of the wrist. So there's going to be a little bit of radial, but a lot of extension too in that right wrist, like we talk about. So there's going to be that stand up, getting in left bend, and then transition. Now I'm going to bounce, get my chest down into right bend, and then have that center of mass kick back.
Okay.
all while that face staying
pretty square.
pretty square.
Yep.
Okay, so again, you're going to start to the left, up and over that alignment stick. You see that face is actually pretty strong.
Yep.
That's different for a lot of people too. Stand it up, sit and turn. Now, that club has now looped over and around that orange stick.
Yeah, so it went over and now it's inside of.
So this is half my infinity.
Yep.
Okay, I actually started at the front side of this infinity, up and over, back down and in, and now I'm going to have the club follow me to the right, and my club is actually going to finish what's going to feel like up and over this yellow alignment stick.
Yes.
Okay, so it's more of that draw pattern. It's going to be completely different for some of you guys at home.
We should see the ball start right and turn left.
Ideally, yes.
Yep.
So, do I really finish my infinity? Probably quite not on the front end. It more or less might look like one of those ribbons you might wear.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that's the feel. So, in to the left, kind of get that impact feel, and then it's going to help you toss it up and out, and then under to the right, and then hit a little push draw. Okay? So you're the master. I want to see you do it.
Okay.
That path was really nice and in to out.
So, club here, up and over, and in to out.
Oh, yeah. Woo! We got a hooker.
The opposite of what I normally hit, but yeah, that's...
There you go. I fixed you.
I'm fixed.
I really see in transition your hands and the club head kind of feeling back to your right.
Yeah, they definitely feel like they toss.
So it's kind of back
like
to the right.
Back over here.
Yep.
And you definitely feel like the club goes from kind of above your hands to behind your hands.
Yep. And then you can just toe it on through.
Yes.
And that's why, again, that club doesn't race on left in the exit. It'll still appear face or down the line that the handle is going around to the left. It's not you driving the handle out here.
No.
The club head's coming
club
from
head's
in to
just
out.
swinging from behind out to in front.
So for those of you at home that are thinking you need that handle to go low left, be careful. That can cause some of that over and out from the top.
The handle going low left is just an effect of good pivot.
Yeah.
My hands being brought along. And in my normal swing, that's going to be more prevalent than in this pattern. This is a nice exaggeration to get me out of a different pattern.
All right, Milo, so now we can see it from face on. Clearly these alignment sticks, we probably got this one, the back end a good yard away, front end maybe.
They're far enough away that I really can't hit them.
We want to make sure you guys do not get these too close where you could hit them. These things go flying. We do not want that. We want any of these drills you guys do at home, like, you gotta be careful with these alignment sticks. They can get tossed around. So.
And they're sharp and they can hurt.
So anyway, so here's kind of your station. You can see how more or less you kind of got your swing arc here, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we see anything from face on. If you want to hit one again, I'll get out of the way. That was a really good one.
About
again,
perfect.
From this angle, again, it looks like to me, in transition, especially the hands are kind of staying to your right, but especially the club head.
Yeah, the club head really feels like, because it went from in to up, it feels like it goes this way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So for many, that loop is totally opposite of what they're doing at home.
Yeah.
So here's a good drill for that. You've probably seen our looper video. I'll tag that at the end of this video so you can watch that one too. But this infinity swing might be a nice little thing to mix into your practice if you struggle with pulls and slices and heel strikes.
Yeah. And because you've started with the club out in front, you get to use momentum to direct the club into the arc you want it, where most people get off track. They set the club in here and they get off track in the first foot of the backswing.
Yeah, so this gets you kind of energizing the system early and helps you sort of toss that club up and over this first stick.
And because we've started with a little in here, naturally it wants to travel more out in front of you on the backswing,
Yeah.
which then gives you the freedom to loop it under. Hey guys, I hope you like this video, and I want you to keep in mind that drills like this are not medicine for everyone. Some people need the exact opposite feels, and that's why we've created our online academy. So if you're not already a member, come on over, join, where you can get some one-on-one coaching from us.
And you can get infinitely better. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.